What foreigners and Chinese people say about Thich Minh, too, Buddha living in Vietnam, surprise of the Chinese people. When I saw that Vietnam had an ascetic house, like Master Minh Tuệ. Dear friends, over the past few days, Master Minh Tuệ has been on his journey, has received a lot of attention from the Vietnamese people. Not only is he influential in the country, Master Minh Tuê's image has also been posted on Chinese social networks, with the content that this is a true ascetic monk of Vietnam who practices the 13 early dharmas. This is one of the most ascetic cultivation methods of Buddhism. This person never accepts money, only asks for enough food, and only eats one meal at lunchtime. Usually sleeps in cemeteries and deserted places. In particular, this person walked alone to many places in Vietnam. Walked so much that this monk's feet gradually became calloused after this video was posted. We have received thousands of comments from Chinese netizens, so let's find out what they said. I saw monks begging for alms like this many times. If you give him money, he will not take it. But if you give him food and drink, he will recognize this as a real monk. Buddhism promotes a type of enlightenment. Buddhism promotes a type of enlightenment. Working in a temple is also a type of enlightenment, but it's easier to get lost when walking in a temple. I'm just joking, everyone. Don't pay attention to the monks. Ascetics will not accept food or drink when they are full until it is time to eat. They only want to eat 2/3 of their 8 alms. This is a real monk who is much better than fat monks with big ears and bellies. Beer, this is a real monk. I cried when I watched this video. Look at this monk's feet. They are all calloused. This is an ascetic monk in Vietnam. Why does this type of monk deserve our respect today? There are too many fake monks who drive luxury cars, have wives, children, and have everything they want. This is a real monk. I did not expect that there were monks like this in Vietnam, blessing the country of Vietnam. I believe he is a true ascetic from the genuine smile on his face, patchwork clothes, and dark skin. Not that anyone can meet such a genuine walking monk. This is a real ascetic. A few days ago, I also met an ascetic monk like this on the road. We gave her some money but didn't accept it. Then we just gave her a few cakes, sesame seeds, and 2 bottles of water. Therefore, all ascetic monks in the world are worthy of respect. They have no money or material things. They only practice the Dharma with a single heart and aim for the Dharma. These are the real ascetics, unlike some people who practice all day long. The live broadcast wants the whole world to know and then call for money offerings. This is a true monk. I didn't expect such a monk to appear in Vietnam. Many years ago, a great master said that all things have spirituality. Only when people reach the high realm can they be called liberated. Not everyone can meet and talk to an ascetic monk. Actually, because the number of monks like this is too small, can anyone give me information about this monk? In China, there are not many monks like that. Most of them live in big temples, eat well, and dress happily. Like Shaolin Temple is not a monk, but a group, and ascetic monks like this bring to the people a kadept. A breath of fresh air helps people better understand Buddhism. The monks at Shaolin Temple are all fat and have big ears. Look at this monk's shoulders and legs, which have calloused marks from many strenuous walks. That's the monk who studies. According to Buddha's teachings, I want to go to Vietnam to see it firsthand. This is the true nature of a monk who doesn't know what Shaolin thought when he saw this video. Even in a small country like Vietnam, they also have ascetic monks in China. How can there be so many people? Like that, even though I just glanced at him, I felt the purity and kindness in his eyes. I admire such monks. Practicing asceticism is what a true monk is. Vin's faith cannot be compared to this outstanding monk. It is very fortunate that Vietnam has such people in today's hot-tempered society. It's really rare. You can tell he's a real monk by looking at the soles of his feet, which have gradually become calloused. This shows that this monk has been practicing like this for a long time. True monks are simple and humble. This is the monk's true nature expressed vividly and authentically. I don't understand that monks in temples can ask for money. Why can't monks on foot? I don't understand much about Buddhism, but I went to the temple with friends a few times. When entering the gate, you must buy a ticket and a merit box with a QR code. A true ascetic will never ask for money, but only food. Now there are actually ascetic people I can't believe. There are many true monks compared to beautiful monks who only care about money and beautiful women. These are the true disciples of the Buddha. Although they have nothing in their hands, They have gentle and majestic faces. They have nothing in their hands, ragged clothes, do not harass people, do not accept money. These are miserable monks. Genuine virtue has a compassionate appearance. Fake monks are all fat with big ears and fierce faces. Whoever that is, everyone knows this is a real master who has Buddha in his heart and follows Buddha's teachings. Nowadays, monks rarely have calluses on the soles of their feet. This monk is skinny and has many scars, but is also incredibly beautiful. What ascetics practice is their state of mind. They feel happy and they see money as an airplane. These are true Buddhist disciples. I went to Linan Pagoda last month, and the monks there were all shiny, different from this monk. I didn't need money. I met a person while eating at a restaurant. He was begging for alms and only received a piece of white rice. Those who have become ascetics are true monks, people without precepts, fat heads and big ears, eating whores, gambling, and begging for money are all fake ascetics. I see fake monks with luxury cars, living in mansions, and acting like celebrities. If you support an arhat who has achieved enlightenment, at least you can go to heaven and receive benefits after death. Does anyone know how to get to Vietnam? I want to meet this monk. I want to hear him preach. This is the state of virtue, the highest virtue of a monk. He sews clothes from pieces of cloth picked up on the roadside and does not accept money. Please support true monks. Those who have calluses on the soles of their feet are real monks, and those who do not have them are fake ascetics. You need to look at the shape of your skin and face enough to know that this is a true monk. What you do is virtue and kindness. What you cultivate is your heart. I hope the monks stay here. Lam Tu and Bachma Tu can also do the same. Nowadays, there are fake monks everywhere who drive nice cars and designer clothes, take off their monk clothes and party. We must support hard-working monks like this. These days, such ascetics are very rare. They usually just ask for a little food during meals. It is an honor to meet such monks, who truly practicing the great virtues and promoting Buddhism is called spiritual practice. Today, the monks in the temple are well-fed and well-dressed. Now I am also an ascetic, but I cannot resist the temptation of money. Such ascetic monks are rare today and worthy of respect. I met them shopping in Fujian. I noticed the monks wearing new clothes from head to toe. They drove luxury cars. There were 2 women accompanying him. This is a real monk walking with a big bag on his back. It's very tiring. This is not something anyone can do. Although he does not belong to any organization, but he is a true monk in the temple. There is this person and that person mixed up. Really, it is very difficult to find monks who truly practice the faith that is based on money these days. I saw an obese monk driving a luxury car with a young girl in the car. If this monk was in China, the Shaolin group would say that this person did not have a license and was a fake monk. This master's smile was so beautiful. His face exuded a unique temperament that was both gentle and strong. From Vietnam, I heard that the weather in Vietnam is so hot. How can a normal person be able to walk barefoot like that? It's admirable. A monk is often very hard. If AI is recording the video thing. Regarding this monk, please cover your face. If this monk becomes famous, many people will come to disrupt the peace. Not only that, there will be forces that will sabotage the spiritual path of such monks. In China, there was such a case. It seems like Vietnam has real monks. Real Buddhist monks are all skinny, unlike the fake monks who eat and drink for a round waist and go out in public. Luxury car. More than 25 years ago, I and a group of friends went to the temple at about 5 p.m. and just asked for a peace charm. When we got to the temple, the monk told us to hurry up because he was about to finish work. I bought a peace charm and went to the dance hall that evening and saw that monk dancing inside. True ascetics are not like some ascetics who have cars and teams to follow live television filming. I wish my master peace and health. Looking at the whole of China, there are only a few or 10 true ascetics. These are disciples of Buddhism. They are not like the fat-headed Shaolin martial arts masters who talk about money every day without talking about fate. Above are some comments from Chinese netizens. If you have any thoughts, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching the entire video, and see you in the next content. Vietnamese ascetic monk unites the whole nation like Minh Tuệ. Those are the headlines of articles by foreigners about monk Minh Tu, a man from central Vietnam who has been walking around the country since 2017. As a form of personal pilgrimage, he was formerly a monk at a temple where he took the Dharma name Minh Tu. Minh meaning bright, and Tu meaning intelligent. The whole name means enlightened path. Mr. Cho added that when he left the temple, he still kept his Buddhist name. He also admitted that he was not a Buddhist monk and was not affiliated with any temple or organization under the Vietnam Buddhist Sangha. Over the past few years, he has studied the Buddha's words and learned ascetic methods that include letting go of comforts and accepting hardships, such as eating less and wearing simple clothes to achieve enlightenment. To practice asceticism. He has been walking all over Vietnam since 2017. My journey is a lifelong walk. I have no intention of spreading any message because everything in Buddhism has been taught by Buddha Teach. I just want to practice following the Buddha's teachings to perfect myself. As I walk, I pray that everyone will always be happy with my family. He said, before I doubted the Buddha's teachings. But Mr. Cho said now that he is more mature, he wants to follow the Buddha's teachings to see if they can bring greater happiness. Mr. Cho said he thought for a long time before, asking his parents for permission to leave home and follow his path on his journey. He often picks up scraps of cloth on the side of the road or in the trash to sew them together into clothes. He only eats one meal at a time. Every day I bathe in rivers and streams, rest on the side of the road, and go to the bathroom at gas stations. He said that walking is not difficult for me. While traveling, if my soul is peaceful and happy, there will be no problems. No obstacle stood in my way. As he continued walking, many people dressed as monks and followed him. Although Mr. Minh Tu said they were not his disciples, he also welcomed anyone who wanted to join the trip. He only asked them to be approved by their family, which is the tradition of monastics. Encourage them to go home whenever they feel they have completed their journey. Recently, he occasionally sees people around him asking to take photos and videos of him, but he says it's better to just walk next to him. He has expressed his disapproval of those who create scenes around him. Although he has not contacted his family for 6 years, does not use the phone or social networks, Mr. Cho said he will always be grateful to his parents. He said he has never called himself a family member monk, and he does not feel worthy of that title. This is some information that these online articles have shared about monk Minh Tu. There was a foreigner who went online and asked about Mr. Minh Tu is as follows. Has anyone here heard of Minh Tu? Recently, I have seen a lot of posts on Facebook about Minh Tu, a famous Vietnamese monk who studied and followed the 13 asceticisms. He is loved by everyone, admiring the patchwork robe, calloused feet, and homeless wandering. However, I know very little about where he came from, whether he is related to any extant lineage, his influence, or any actual official Ngui interviews. Is there anyone here more familiar with him or any of this information? I'm really curious about him and his practice, but my Vietnamese is embarrassingly bad, and Google Translation is not the best translation on many points. All information is appreciated. Thank you. Let's see the answers and feelings of foreigners about Mr. Minh Tu. Yes, my family watches the news about him every day. He is a true monk, following closely in the footsteps of Buddha Shakyamuni, practicing 13 ascetic practices. There are not many monks in the world who can do it like him. Go without shoes or any accessories. However, I know very little about where he came from, whether he is related to any extant lineage, his influence, or any actual official Ngui interviews. Is there anyone here more familiar with him or any of this information? I'm really curious about him and his practice, but my Vietnamese is embarrassingly bad, and Google Translation is not the best translation on many points. All information is appreciated. Thank you. Let's see the answers and feelings of foreigners about Mr. Minh Tu. Yes, my family watches the news about him every day. He is a true monk, following closely in the footsteps of Buddha Shakyamuni, practicing 13 ascetic practices. There are not many monks in the world who can do it like him. Go without shoes or any accessories. In this day and age, Minh Tu has been doing this for 6 to 7 years and is only now being noticed by YouTubers and vloggers that he never shows off his superiority and is always extremely humble towards others. Never boasted and did not preach, even though he would answer questions about Buddhism, Buddhist practice, and questions about karma if people asked him. Many corrupt monks in Vietnam did not like him because he did exactly what Buddha did back then. No big temples, no money, humility and compassion. They couldn't stand it. Many Buddhists or just ordinary people admired him so much. The fact that they followed him from one province to another was very touching.